Morning. So it's been a few days since I've been on here with you guys, but I just wanted to make sure my coffee don't spill. Just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about how I've dealt with toxic people in my life. A couple years ago I did do a blog post on this, but I mean that was a few years ago, and I just kind of wanted to go over that with you and my journey through getting rid of toxic people and how I'm still dealing with toxic people, because there's just some people that's in my life that are toxic that are just not going to be able to go away. So back a couple years ago I talked about how to figure out who's toxic. So like basically anyone that just brings a negative impact into your life would be, to me, would be considered a toxic person. That's kind of how I've labeled them in my mind. People that are constantly wanting me to make bad decisions, don't care if I better myself, just overall negative with me and things of that nature. So before I was talking about two main ways to get rid of them is you just confront them. You tell them, hey, this isn't, good for me. This isn't good for my mental state. This isn't good for, how I want to go. I want to be more positive, and you just kind of bring me down. Can you not do this? Things of that nature. And then if, that didn't work and they just continued on, then just drop them. Like I said a while ago, there's some people in my life that I just can't drop. There have been people that I have just been able to just drop and go on. But some people, like I just said, I'm repeating myself, you can't get rid of. So I do have lots of family that, not all, but lots that are kind of negative toward, I don't think they truly think they're being negative. I don't think they aim to be, but they are. So I just limit my time with them. That's what I kind of do. I just don't talk or hang out with them as much as I did, and I have become so much better, so much more happier with myself. Not necessarily just kicking them out isn't necessarily making it happy. It's just how they are when they're with me, or how they just are, and then how I feel and how I react when I'm with them. I still hang out with all of them, just not as much as I used to, and I try to limit how long I am with them in a setting. So I try not to spend like days with them at a time. And another way is on social media. So my coffee just fell spilled. So like I'm sitting here like trying to limit in-person interaction with all these negative people and negative things, and I just kind of was like, I do see a difference in how, when I stopped hanging out with them, or just not as much hanging out with them, I see a difference with that. But then I would also notice, like, every time I would get on Facebook, mainly Facebook for me, Instagram seems to be, when I started Instagram and started doing all the following, I made sure like I didn't follow negative stuff. I didn't follow someone that's constantly screaming and yelling at the camera and boasting about this or that, or constantly talking about negative things all the time. And I've realized that whenever I was on Instagram, like I just felt like boom, ready to go, ready to tackle, just really positive, energized, and ready to go. And then on Facebook, I created Facebook when I was late in high school, and so there was like just like anybody and everybody, there was like a fad on Facebook where you would just go on there and see how many friends you could get. You didn't care who they were, if they were a real person or what. You just, it was a thing there for a while that you would just add them. And I think some people still do that. I clearly don't. But a lot of the people that I would always see were just negative people and negative posts. And one of them, I know, like a majority was like constantly news channels, so I just stopped following news channels completely. We don't have TV at the house, so I didn't watch the news there. I have a weather app on my phone, so if it's going to call for a storm or rain, then I'll go to the news channel weather section and I'll look, see what's going on there. If there's something like the pandemic and the riots and stuff that are going on, if those are going on, then I'll go on there, and so it's like I choose when I go onto there. It's not thrown in my face every time I scroll, on Facebook. So I stopped doing that. And then with all the people, like if they were constantly posting negative things or constantly complaining and griping every other post or every post, because there's been some people that have constantly just posted something negative every other hour of the day. So I just went in there and I deleted them. And some of them, where I'm from and how my family is if you delete a family member off Facebook, you start World War III with the family. So if that family member is toxic to me, I just unfollow them. And when you unfollow somebody on there, you're still friends with them and they can still see your post, but when you unfollow them, you don't see any of their stuff unless you go to their page and scroll down through. So I started doing that a lot. So I went from having over 1,000 people on Facebook and cleared it out, and I think I'm down to like just over 200 people on my friends list, which is amazing, I feel like. And half of them I unfollowed, so I only have a select few people that I see their stuff on Facebook, and it's people that I feel like don't bring a negative impact into my life. So my nose is itching like crazy, but so I feel like I'm going to be going on and updating that blog post. When I do get that done, I will come back on whichever episode comes next in the morning with me after I've redone it, and let you guys know, so you guys can, if you don't want to rewatch the video, you can always just go on to the website and look at it there, read it, and whatnot. I also have other posts that you can read. It's under the tab A Better You, so what better name to give it than A Better You. So we're coming up to our 10-minute mark, and so if you have people that you feel like are negative in your life, talk to them first. They may not know that they're doing that. And also, real quick, just because someone's negatively impacting you or toxic to you doesn't mean that that same person is negative or toxic to another person. So everybody is different, everybody absorbs people's personalities and their perspective and stuff on things differently than everybody else. So just because one person's toxic to you, they may not be to somebody else that you know. So and yeah, so like if you find that they're not understanding or listening to you, try to work with them on it first a little bit. If they're still just, in my case, I just drop people and I have become so happy. But that may not work for you. You may drop them and it may depress you more, or you might feel like you need them back. So it's whatever works for you. And another thing that I found is like social media. So I've limited the things that I see on social media, whether it be negative or positive, and then certain things like if I need something or want to see something from someone or the news, then I go search for it on my own. I don't just sit here and allow it to pop up constantly. So, but yeah, that's it for this morning. I'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe, in the morning. So stay natural, get out in nature, and see you in the morning.